Good afternoon, folks. Yes, it's all truth because it's been quite a while. I won't take up too much of your time. This is about the murder of Tyree Nichols. As we know, Tyree Nichols was a second shift worker at FedEx who was murdered by five police officers. I think I have this name right. Darius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmitt Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith. And there has been a sixth officer who was also fighting this. And I want to get to the point. We have been marching. African Americans have been marching for justice for well over 60 years. Yet, it looks for most part, it has had very little effect. Let me expound on that statement. We can go all the way back to Emmitt Till, who was murdered because of a lie. And that woman, the prosecutors refused to indict this woman. She lied on this young 14-year-old black child from Chicago who was visiting a relative. And she's still alive. They refused to indict this woman. She caused the lynching. This young child, black child, was lynched, as everybody knows the story of Emmitt Till. I started to go to Rodney King, but I'll go to Clifford Glover in South Jamaica in 1973. What his name is, the complimented him, O'Shea, it's been so long. Walking down Guy Abreu, well, it was New York Avenue at the time, in South Jamaica, New York. This white man jumped out the car and they started running. And they shot him. They didn't do anything. Rodney King, Ramaldi Grant, I can go on and on. The history of policing, of modern day policing in America can be traced back to the original slave. That's a fact. Where their job was not to protect black people, but to make sure they stayed on the plantations and worked 17 or 18 hours a day from sunup until sundown. We all know they had one hell of a life. But now let me bring this forward. This man, Tyree Nichols, a FedEx worker, who even the police said, when they looked at all the films and did all the research, that there was no reason for them to even stop him. Mr. Nichols, a 25-year-old, a 29-year-old black motorist, was pulled over January 7th for what police said was reckless driving. And that was a lie. After attempting to flee on foot, he did not attempt to flee. He actually said, wait a minute, take it easy. He said, hold it, wait a minute, I did no harm, I did no wrong. They were beating him on the ground. Then he got up and walked him. You see, then he got up and took off running. Because he was trying to tell him to hold it. What did I do? Nicholas was Nicholas was aggressively beaten by police. Newly released police video shows 3 days later he died in the hospital. While he was on the ground, he was screaming, Mom, Mom, oh, Mom, my God. But you know what I mean? There's so many of our white brothers and sisters who are so upset. Some of them are actually crying at this sick, disgusting. See, I'm going to tell you what Roland Martin said. All your skinfolk are not kinfolk. You understand me? When they when they put on that blue uniform, they thought they could do anything in the African American community and get away with it. But we're going to hold their blood accountable. Do you understand me? Our people have fought in every war, every battlefront. We can go back to Crispus Attucks in the Revolutionary War. Black man. Huh? My family have people that we know in World War One, World War Two, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq. Even my stepson So many relatives they had in every war. Look how they treated us in battle. Look, we were segregated, a segregated unit. Hmm? Look at the Harlem Hellfighters. The fighting 369th out of Harlem in World War One. Some of them came back and even almost got lynched. Even in New York. Look what happened in World War Two. Look at Isaac Woodard, right there in Batesburg, South Carolina. Look what they did to knock his eyes out of his head. After going there and fighting to be treated as human beings in this country. See, one thing our people have to do is know the law. Read, open the books and read, know your rights. This is of the utmost importance. I want these clowns locked up and throw the book away. And these white cops that abuse their power in black community just because of the color of our skin, they think that they can get away with it. We want them locked up. We demand and throw the key away. The devil is a liar. Get back to it. This man was just getting off going home to eat lunch, going home to eat with his mother. He was a father. He loved his family. And do you know these clowns? One of these clowns actually was bragging about it. Wow, I was hitting him with haymakers. This man on the ground screaming, "What did I do? What did I do?" I'm going to tie this in for you. The point is this. Like I said, we have been marching for jobs and justice for over 50 years. Yet right now today, 60 years later, we're fighting for the same thing over and over and over again. Dr. King said the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. That's why it's of the utmost importance for us to come together and have a plan and be extremely careful about who in the heck that you're voting for and putting in these offices, because we have to live by the laws that they make. Even your local elections is of the utmost importance. We demand justice. What are your thoughts? And next time, we're going to expound a little deeper on this with some specialists, my relative, Sister Eskew. And again, folks, it really troubles me. After all the marches over and over and over again, they continually murder our innocent African Americans, unarmed, innocent, minding your own business. I'm not talking about gangsters and thugs. I'm not talking about drug dealers or pimps. I'm talking about innocent, honest, hardworking African Americans, men and women. We haven't learned nothing from Rodney King. Have you learned nothing from uh, 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 George Floyd? Look at George Floyd. There were protests all over the world, and still they continue to attack us and treat us in this manner. We demand justice. Hmm? See, Dr. King said he's, in his I Have a Dream speech, which the media continue to throw at us, but that's not the last thing he said. He wanted us, all of us, to be treated equal. And we're not going to stop until we achieve equality. We demand justice. We want to make sure that Tyree Nichols, Rodney King, Philando Castile, another innocent human being who just got off from work in a car with his fiance and his child, remember up in Montana, Minnesota, and the cops, he was pulling out his driver's license and had a permit for a gun, and they shot him in the car. We want to make sure to ensure that this never happens again. What are your views? Leave a comment and press the like button. God bless and be careful out there. May the Lord be with you, is my prayer.